Buenos dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it? You already know. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Oh, shit. Just that Latin King shit. Ba-ba-ba. It's just real. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. It's so real with it. I said, bye-ya. Don't quit it. Bye-ya. Guard. Bye-ya. Orderly, bang, bang. In a menudo style, in a direct fashion, I felt that if for no other reason, and you see the thumbnail right there, we should speak on something that has been spoken on, but at the same time, I got to give you my perspective. I got to give you my take on this story, right? This story is a trip. Now, trip out. A lot of people have DM'd me asking me about why come and how come and shall come. And yeah, I come. Why I haven't spoke on this. And you know what? Sometimes I have to take a step back. Let others tell their stories. Let others spin it their way and then give it to you on the real, right? Keep it on the real. Guess whatever you want. This is the real shit. This is the real stuff. Eat it. Now trip out. Nicholas Zamudio, aka Smush, an alleged member of the Latin Kings, got caught up. But it's just the way he was brought up, right? He got caught up for a double murder, 2 separate killings. According to what I read up on and what's been told to me, this individual, got in a road rage incident to which he pulled something out, so I was scared, it went ugly, and it got ugly fast. And whatever the case may be, it's an ongoing investigation. So, of course, we're going to say alleged because we don't know if this man really did that. It could have been some fat bitch walking across the street, jaywalking, that decided that for no other reason, the guy had a hamburger that he didn't want to give her a bite of, and boom, she put it down on him. But whatever the case may be, someone's life came up short, and the fingers got pointed at this guy, Nicholas Zamudio, a.k.a. Smush. Now, Smush didn't stop there, according to what authorities are saying, what people are saying. 10 days later, him and another camarada of his got caught up in what they're calling a murder without really properly identifying the victim. I guess they thought the victim was somebody that he wasn't. And, things happened, things transpired. And that vato also came up short, hand in hand with the other guy. Now, when someone has already committed a murder or is alleged to have committed murder, 2 things happen. Either you find the Lord, Orale Jesus, and it's over. You go that route. You say, man, I messed up. You turn yourself in. You do your time. Or you get caught up. You go on the run. It is what it is. Eventually, ultimately, you end up doing some time on that. Or you just go asked out backwards. You go all out. You say, thank you, fuck, la primera. And you esperanza. You get it, right? You get it because you're with it. You figure you already caught 1. Why not catch 2 or 3 or 4? What's going to make the difference? It doesn't matter. You're already going to do vida. You're already going to do life without that possibility. So its possibility is that you're probably going to catch more bodies. Now, according to what authorities are saying, after catching this road rage incident, he definitely went all out and decided that if for no other reason, him and his camarada were going to get together and go hunting and go picking the killing fields. And definitely they found a piece of cebolla, and it smelled funny, and so they threw it back. But not only did they throw it back, they smushed it before they threw it back. Now, trip out on this. This guy is an alleged member of the Latin Kings. But what makes this story so interesting, because double murders, these type of incidents happen all the time, especially in Califas, murder capitals of the world. I mean, I'm talking about vatos are coming up short every day. You can't even go to a pinche quinceañera for your prima without getting caught up. You just might not come back. Hey, it's okay, Holmes. You want to go to the quinceañera with me? It's all good. It's cracking. No, Holmes, because last time my head got cracked. I know it was cracking. My shit was cracked. Nah, hey, anyway, you let me know if there's any hangers there and what's cracking. I might have to slide through. People don't even want to go to quinceañeras, weddings, funerals, because people get off now wherever they're mad at. It's not like back in the days, hey, you lose a homeboy, you guys have a great funeral for him, a wake. It is what it is. Say some prayers and say la vie, yes it. You know what I mean? We'll catch you in the next realm. And then it's on to the next line, to the next homeboy comes ashore, or you yourself do, right? It's not like that anymore. I've seen videos of vatos going in there, holding everyone at gunpoint, dragging coffins up, pissing on coffins, disrespect. It's wild in this world we live in. Gangbanging has elevated, and everything has elevated to a whole nother level. New video. Orderly dubs. Shout out, right? This is just how it is. Now, what makes this story so interesting is this man has Down syndrome. Okay? And that's not a laughing matter. I have family members that, I don't want to say are not all there. That's not the way to put it. But have this same disease. And I've met people. And a funny story is this. It's not even a funny story. It's a feel-good story. When I was very young, there was a class. There was a class at my school. And I remember all these kids had Down syndrome. And they were in a class, and they would take a few of us from each class, and we were like mentors, like big brothers. Even though I was still young, to these kids, you know, we were what they aspired to be. Little did they know I was going to become a fucking riff-raff gang member that wasn't really going to have shit. So they were aspiring to be the wrong one. But I definitely felt good because I was giving back to the gente. Now, I never looked at these kids different. I was a firm and true believer that just because they had Down syndrome or whatever they might have, they were no different from anyone else. I didn't treat them different. I didn't treat them special. Even though they had special needs, they weren't going to get it from me. I said, this was no SNY yard. No special needs here. They weren't going to get none of that. What they were going to get is someone who was a friend, a true friend, and cared for them just like they cared for me. And I remember there was this one girl. She was infatuated with me. She had Down syndrome. Pretty girl. You know, they all have that same look. And she was like, my name's Sylvia. What's your name? I remember saying my name over 114 times, gangbanging. I said my name a gang of times to her. And every time she asked, I felt more inspired and more happy. And definitely gave her that information. After a while, it did become a little nerve-wracking, to say the least. It was what it was. But I understood her situation. She couldn't compute it. So to this gang member to have Down syndrome, you know, is a trippy thing. Now, we all know Donnie, my boy Donnie, man. I got nothing but love for my boy Donnie. We all know that Donnie is not quite, has the same type of mental capacity or can understand things like we do. Or so you may think. You know, he's actually one of the smartest individuals I've ever come across. Well-versed and knows what time it is. Just can't express his feeling, you know, or can't confess his feeling like an oldie. He just can't do that. But at the same time, that doesn't mean I treat him any different. That doesn't mean I ain't got love for him. That doesn't mean he isn't my boy, because he really is. You know, so for this guy to have actually joined a gang, been an active member of the Latin Kings, allegedly, and been really with it is a trip. But it's not far-fetched. It's not out of this world or out of this reality, because anybody can get it. Imagine, hey, Holmes, I got shot in the hand, Holmes. Yeah, well, that you're grabbing your arm. I know, because isn't it connected to my hand? My hand bone's connected to my arm bone. Yeah, something like that, bro. Anyways, what happened? He said, watch out. Damn, that feels good, eh? So watch out, yeah, that what the Smush got me. Smush? You mean that vato from down the street, that talks like that? Yeah, him. Ah, bullshit. Smush is really with them smushy activity. It doesn't matter if you have Down syndrome, the academic bumps, whatever you may have in life, you just have to roll with them punches. You have to roll with it. Now, this guy definitely was not only considered an active gang member, but was considered a dangerous one. You know, I think, and I'm pretty sure, not even knowing this guy, but just knowing, you know, people underestimated him because of, you know, how he was. I wouldn't. I definitely don't underestimate nobody. Anybody can get with the program. You know, that's the problem with a lot of people, is they sleep on what positively can happen, or negatively in this fashion, right? Guard! Am I saying it right? It can happen. You know, so with this guy killing the first person, maybe, you know, a road rage and shit. I got road rage. I said, I ain't even gonna lie. Goddamn Asians can't drive, right? You know, we always say that. And at the end of the day, it's us that took the wrong turn. That's it. It has nothing to do with the, I'm not even gonna say it, right? I'm just saying, motherfucker be pissed driving. So let's get, hurry, I need to make the green, right? So let's come in the wrong water, they might start shooting at me, right? You catch the red, you're looking like this, all paranoid. I'm a hardcore gang member, fuck it, la primera. You know, straight up, come on, you already know what it is. Everybody gets a little bit of road rage. Everybody's trying to get there and do that quick. And that's the problem. I'm slow pace, cruise. That's it. Groove with you. Isley Brothers. Just cruise. You know, you don't have to, you'll get there when you get there. Anyways, with this road rage incident that took place, the alleged shooter was Smush. Okay? What a cold handle. Smush, right? And you can see where they gave him that handle. Probably talks a little bit slower than others. Probably moves a little bit slower than others, but it's quick to pull the trigger faster than others. Was definitely active in them streets. You know, I talked to a Latin King, an alleged Latin King. We'll just say it like that because I don't want to put nothing out there. A very well-respected group. You know the origins. I've told the story. The origins of the motherland in Chicago that gravitated into New York. That's a worldwide phenomenon. That's a global gang that's definitely active in the streets and handling their business. Now, I look at them more as an organization rather than a gang. I believe that they are people that have come together, raza that have come together, man, for the betterment of their people. Now, of course, along the way, you're going to have some bad apples, just like it is in every different voter, every different hood, every different group. And the narrative is going to get spun, man. People are going to spin it to, oh, they're just a criminal organization that are out there gangbanging and harming the community. Whatever the case may be, whatever you truly want to believe, it is what it is. I tend to look at things from the better aspect, from the optimistic aspect of things. And I see them as a group that formed together you know, for basically social status of equality and to protect their people. You know, when you're growing up in the slums of Detroit, Chicago, LA, New York, you know, you have to come together as a people for protection. You have to come together to show people that you're not going out like that. And it takes more than one just to do that. Or does it? You know, one person, and one never knows, does one, can be just that one, just like in the case of Smush. He definitely was with the program. Now, having as much respect as I do for the Latin King group, you know, and we know they stay in the headlines lately. You know, this incident with Smush. And then, of course, the alleged incident with Dick Ride to the Dick Fly, Wobble, Wobble, Wobble 6ix9ine, where he allegedly was stomped out by what they said were members of the Latin Kings. Now, I'm not going to say it was or it wasn't, or they did or they didn't. But one thing I will say for sure is something definitely happened to his head bone because it was connected to the toilet bone. And that's it. Now, they definitely made the airwaves lately, the Kings. And it's not a group that I've ever stepped on or that I haven't had the privilege to do time with or associate with, because I definitely have done time with Latin Kings. I know their philosophies, some of their rules and regulations, and what inspires them to push for their gente. And that's real life, man. That's why I'm always shouting them out, Amor de Rey, giving them the respect, because they're definitely a group in the East Coast and now worldwide that refuse to be slept on. I said, don't sleep next to them. I'm telling you, just don't. You know what I mean? They'll fuck you off. Now, literally. Now, trip out. This guy Smush gets caught up on this second murder. And I don't know the story on it other than, you know, him and a camarada were riding around and they seen who they thought was one of their enemies. They misidentified someone, and it happens. You know, I've been shot in the back of the head due to misidentification. You know, when you're really out there and you're holding a grudge against someone, or they're your enemy and they got a certain haircut or wear their hat a certain way or wear a certain color, and you feel, you know, automatically that they're the opposition, most people will just get off where they're mad at. They'll take the initiative to make the next move their best move without really properly identifying. I learned as I got older to identify the enemy, to really make sure. I needed to see a fucking X3 on their neck to know, you know, that what was really going on. I needed to make sure that the adversary was really an adversary that was posing a threat to me to get off. I didn't want to just judge someone because their pants were baggy or I thought. You know, imagine sitting down incarcerated for the rest of your natural born life for a guy that wasn't even involved, for a guy that was in the army defending you in your country, for a Volta that was just trying to bone a bad chick, huh, when you wanted her to. I mean, just imagine. You know, you're never going to forgive yourself, but even more so, that family, your family is never going to forgive you because you made a baboso move like the baboso you are, and that's just facts. But these guys definitely misidentified this person who was not even a gang member and wasn't the guy they were really looking for, and he was killed. Now, this guy's sitting down, and let me talk about the hardships he's going to go through. If he's well known, like supposedly he is, he's probably going to get love in the county jail. Of course he's going to get love. I mean, he's a local hero. Homeboys know him. Hey, that's the homeboy. Hey, you know the homeboy Smush just there? That is right there. Program. Oh, hell yeah, right? They're out there right there. He's smushing about those out there. So, okay, he's probably going to be a little local celebrity in there within his gang. Of course, the adversaries, the enemies are going to feel some type of way about him because not only does the Down syndrome make him, you know, a hero to his people, but it also makes him a target to the others. They feel like there's a flaw in his game. They'll feel like they definitely got to make him, you know, a trophy. They definitely got to make him, you know, an obstacle that is no longer an obstacle. They're going to make an example out of him. That's the word I was looking for without saying the other 10 words I said. They're definitely going to make an example out of this Volta. Why? Because, hey, ¿sabes qué? In gangs don't care, homes. It's like that. Any little thing about you, if you're a Volta with a big old ear that's doing that like there, guarantee someone's trying to shoot you in that motherfucker. Hey, watch out. Remember that Volta had a big old fucking ear? Remember the one that stuck out? They used to call him Oreja. Remember that Volta? Hey, Mike Tyson, I bit his shit. We were fighting, and I bit it off. That's it. But now that guess what we call him now? Guess what we call him? Here you go. Holyfield. Show! Right? Holyfield. He became a target all because he had one fucking ear that stuck out like a rabbit. And it's just what it is. People look for any reasons, especially when you're gangbanging, to make you a target. If you're different, you will become a target. If you talk too much, if you're out there clowning, if you got a taka that's disrespectful, just like C-Mac, oh, 50 Vic, cuz! With the Hoover, when he got on him, he becomes a target. He not only becomes a target, but becomes a trophy because whoever get him that got him, they could brag about that and they'll go down in the historia as having shot an ear off or turned the Hoover just into Hoove. I mean, it just is what it is. Now, with Smush, he might be a local hero. He might be embraced by his homeboys, and the canalismo will be real if he's even from Latin Kings. Like I said, this is all alleged. But if he definitely goes to state prison, it becomes something different. You know, sometimes when you're a target or you're being looked at a certain way or you got Down syndrome and you're a little bit slower than others and not able to pick up on things or comprehend certain things, not because you can't, but because it just seems harder, now you become an obstacle and a liability, Holmes. Now, one thing I know about gangs and groups is you're only as strong as your weakest link. And if you're that weakest link, it's goodbye. Vatos are going to give you the boot right in your asshole, Holmes, and get you up out of there. Orale. You know about asshole, Wes Watson. They're going to do that. Say it with your chest, Wes. They're going to do that. And that's just based on the fact that vatos can't sit there and hold your hand and guide you, Holmes. See, when you're in prison, you have to be aware of your own safety and security. You have to stay true to what you know, 10 toes on the ground, Holmes, in the concrete. You need to make sure that your awareness is up and your antennas are fucking just going doing this. Watch out, they're doing way down Bermuda, Jamaica. Ooh, I want to take you. They got to be doing the Kokomo. I said they got to be on their Beach Boy shit, because if you let one wave overpass, I guarantee, then they wish they all could be California girl. You're going to be done. Okay, and then you're going to be someone's California girl in the cell. And so he's going to be like, yo, you go eat that cornbread. And you're not going to like that very much. So the whole thing in prison is to fly under the radar, just blend in and say, hey, when your number's called and it's time to handle business, handle business. Now with Smush, to what degree of Down syndrome he has, I can't call it. There's different levels to this and different degrees. I know with like my boy Donnie, he talked slow, but he could compute in his mind everything. And he was very and highly intelligent. He just wasn't able to express it like the average man. So I don't know Smush's situation. I haven't sat down and had a Smushy conversation with him. I don't know. But one thing I know for sure is he definitely had the capacity and the audacity to down 2 people, allegedly, right? So he definitely knows how to use a gun. That's facts. Whether he loaded it himself or not, I don't know. But it's a big story. And it's a big story because people always wonder about the unknown. They wonder about mystery. And it's a mystery to some people that someone with Down syndrome can be from an active gang or be an active gang member and put it down. But I'm here to tell you, man, most gangs, man, they don't draw color lines. They don't base it on your religion or if you're a Democratic or Republican or if, you know what I mean, says, okay, your old lady's fat or she's skinny. They don't judge you on that. They judge you on the merits of your character, man. What type of individual involved you are and how dedicated you are to their cause. How dedicated you are to go out there and handle business for the casa, you know, for the household, for the people, for the barrio. And that's what it should be about. And I love that. That's what I love that's instilled. You know, you talk about gangs, you talk about how bad they are. I don't. I talk about how there is a lot of canalismo there. There is a lot of love. These are the things that I talk about, you know. Anyways, so I just wanted to speak on that story. You know, this is an ongoing case, so I can't speak on the specifics or details of the case. One thing I'll say for sure is it definitely caught my attention. You know, I've never, in the history of you know, doing this here, in the history of gangsterism, I've never really sat and had a conversation with someone that had Down syndrome that was really actively pursuing that lifestyle. Now, I did have a homeboy, discúlpame, that definitely had 2 screws loose and wasn't out there, and we didn't quite get along. I wanted to get the fuck out of that cell as soon as possible because, discúlpame, I was tired of it, right? And I have ran into vatos. I had a homeboy named Speedy that walked slow like a turtle. I don't know why the hell we called him Speedy. I guess opposites attract. But when it comes to Smush, he definitely, you know, word on the curb is he was about that. He was about the wiggleization. And I'm sure some of his homeboys will chime in and just let people know exactly how real he was. I'm not here to disrespect that vato in any capacity or in any level. It just boggles my mind that someone that has that going on, you know, can be as active or really in the shit as he is. But here he is, man, the life in the world that we live in. We find ourselves telling a story and talking about and listening to a story about an active gang member with Down syndrome that is now sitting on 2 bodies and facing life in prison. Man, what a difference a day makes. With that being said, gente, I hope you enjoyed the story. I hope you enjoyed the realness of it, you know. Never judge a book by its cover, and definitely don't judge, period. We have the capacity to judge, but we shouldn't. That's something we shouldn't do. Never sleep on anyone either, man, because imagine you get somebody with Down syndrome. He's going to give you that Charlie Babbitt. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, the Rain Man. And then you're going to be sitting there on, I can't believe Smush shot me. Yes, he did. With that being said, move smooth with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming to you. And don't judge no one, man, unless you want to be judged. And you definitely don't want that. If you like that, hit that like and subscribe. If not, thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I, myself, am going to continue to strive and struggle for bringing you the best possible content I can. And truly, homes, to make things happen. Bang, bang.